which is one of the most difficult rooms, and not have to use any of the safe spots at all. We aggro the Shadowcaster here, as we can see, and we aggro the second one, but then we just veer around the side. We get hit by one Shadow Bolt, and that's it. Then we can jump on top of the pod or behind the pod, or just run around the pot, basically. Nova those mobs right there. I missed the Nova. That's perfectly fine. And you just run to the safe spot, and you get started with the pool. You're just slowing the mobs as you go. Keep up mana shield, keep up Ice Barrier. You have full mana, so you know that as long as you have a decent enough defense level, you're not going to have any problem at all getting by these mobs. And even once I got started later on, I actually started going ahead, and I was using this entire pool and then actually opening up the graves at level like 43 with this pool just getting started now. Not even resetting before I open up the graves. I recommend, while you're still getting used to it, definitely reset before you open up the graves. But as you can see here, it took me about 2.5 to 3 minutes probably to be able to do this run, and then doing this run took me about another minute, probably a minute and a half. So in about 4 to 5 minutes, we're already to the reset spot, and we're already ready to get going with the actual pools themselves. Now that we get to the reset spot, you want to get a full mana, and you want to get ready for your shields. Now with Ice Barrier, the special trick to make sure that you have your Ice Barrier going while you're opening up the graves is to Ice Barrier early, so that when you actually start opening up the graves, you have enough time on your Ice Barrier remaining to actually do the pool itself. And so I went into this in great detail in the other video. You're more than welcome to check it out. But what we do here is we pop Ice Barrier, and then we're going to go over. We're going to activate the boss. By activating the boss then opens up these. Whenever we open up these graves, they automatically run to the boss. And so here, one grave gets open anytime that you interact with the boss, but now all the mobs are going to be running towards the boss, which means that they're not going to be hitting us. We're running forward, and we're spamming all these graves. Now, one thing I do want to touch on is how I actually do my movement and my running, because a lot of people are having issues with these graves, and I've started noticing it in some of my coachings. I run with W or auto run. In this case, I run with W, and then I use strafe. So for me, that's Q and E. Some people, it's A and D. I use strafe to zigzag back and forth while using my right click on my mouse to actually spam open the graves. And so here we can see once they reset, we run back the opposite path. You will aggro them at the end, and once the mobs kind of start running towards you, just go for the Nova, open up that last grave, and then either if you're a female, you can blink through the left side or blink around the right side and run around that pot and jump up to the reset spot again. But if you're using W and the strafes, you're going to have a much easier time than if you're moving with your mouse. If you solely move with your mouse, I highly, highly recommend you rebind to Q, W, and E for movement, and you get used to moving like that, especially using auto run. What I like to do a lot of times is I like to enable auto run and then just use my right mouse button on my mouse to just shift whichever direction I need to for a slightly different angle, and then just keep on going. After we do those two graves, we're ready for the final grave, and so we can see here that we're opening up the final set of graves. You have plenty of time to get back around the side of the hill and back up to the safe spot before you actually have any of the mobs come over to hit you. Don't worry about the one grave that is left by the boss, because when you actually activate the boss in just a little bit, that one grave is automatically going to be opened. As I said before, every single time you interact with the boss, one grave gets opened, causing you to be able to go through the rotation. So now we're ready to actually jump up to the top. So we jump up to the top of here, we drop combat, and we jump up into the corner. If you are a troll, anything other than a gnome, as I said before, every single time you interact with the boss, one grave gets opened, causing you to be able to go through the rotation. So now we're ready to actually jump up to the top. So we jump up to the top of here, we drop combat, and we jump up into the corner. If you are a troll, anything other than a gnome, sorry gnomes, you can just scale up the wall there, but if not, just mount up on your mount, and then you can just scale up the wall real easily. And here I'm actually going to mount up just to do it, because I can't drop combat. If there is a healing ward you can see here, or if there's any kind of lava ward, that will keep you in combat for a decent bit, so just fire blast it, just take it out. But now you can get up the wall. So if you need to get up the wall without the mount, if you're having troubles, just go ahead and mount up and you're going to be good to go. At this point, what you want to do is you want to swap over to Mage Armor. So make sure you swap over to Mage Armor, because you're going to need all the regen that you can get. Also, make sure you have Dampen Magic going for the boss. Make sure that you have a full Ice Barrier and everything like that. And then we're actually going to get started with the pool. Now, some people ask why I jump behind the back of this, and you guys are going to see that in just a second. The reason why I jump behind the back is that this first group that we're going to aggro will occasionally reset if I go through the front. And I think it's more so a speed thing. So if you're really quick with getting over to the actual kill spots, don't have to worry about it. However, if you're not, then you're definitely going to want to jump over the back. One other thing I really want to point out is that dead heroes and zombies have a different aggro table. What that means is that if I were to pull all these zombies, but I didn't hit this dead hero, this dead hero would not be pulled. So if you want to skip the dead heroes, skip them. If not, though, what you actually want to do is you want to make sure that you hit them as well with the Flame Strike, or you counterspell them, or something to engage combat with them. Otherwise, that dead hero is not going to pull. He's not going to chain pull the other dead heroes, and you're going to be missing out on that experience. Same kind of thing goes with Witch Doctors and Shadow Hunters and things like that. The zombies aren't going to pull them, but the dead heroes will. So then we scale around the back, we jump over there, and I'll describe that in more detail in just a second. We go for the rank 1 Blizzard here to pull those mobs, and then we're just going to be jumping back and forth from this platform. So you jump up here, as soon as mobs run around the side, you're going to jump back. And then once the mobs go a little bit down the side, you're going to jump back. And what this is doing is it's basically keeping all the mobs around this left side right here. And so as mobs run around the side and they get up to the top, they join in the rest of the mobs. And what you can see is that most of the mobs are pretty well stacked up. And so when we're ready for it, we go for our Blizzard. Now, before we get into the actual kill phases of the Blizzard, I want to talk about how to actually jump up to here with the Witch Doctor and things like that. So the actual path...
The RPG mobile hit of 2019.
Guessing there's a lot of people on. That's a short queue time compared to normal. I'm about to turn off this add-on. I feel like it's fucking with my that's Bears are back. That's not good. Fuck, man, I shouldn't have to run that every single time I get on, man. That's so annoying. I wonder... I gotta look at the history. Alright, I need to kill you again, dude. Sorry, I gotta figure this out. You should have popped by now.
Hey Outlon, what's up? How are you doing? A lot, it's good. Thanks for asking. How are you? Are you playing WoW? How far are you? WoW. I see you continued leveling your mage. How come? Did you gear your hunter already? Awesome. I just leveled 48. Yeah. True. More fun. And yeah, definitely broken. If you know what you're doing, definitely. You can easily XP farm. You should do the AoE farming. Poz Da Vinci, welcome to the stream. Добродошли на стрим, что там, как вы? Yeah, I know what you mean, but get to 49 and do PvP then. I believe that's the best way to get honor and everything else. You have a mount, but no one else also has maxed out. It should be fairly easy for them. I'm gonna definitely try that out myself and see how that goes. There is a lot of good gear. The only problem with the PvP gear is stuck between reputation, which isn't a fair thing to add. I mean, better increase the honor that you have to reach instead of having to farm reputation on a lower level just so you can equip gear. Reaching an honor or a reward just by doing PvP is too much. I will probably do a lot of PvP at 1:49. True, me also, for sure. Definitely. There is some really good builds there. Like this one that gives crit and magic damage. There's some nice 6th level gear as well. And from reward you can get a lot of good stuff, like slightly increasing movement speed. Instead of enchanting it, you need the reward still, but it still is there. And Exalted gives you a nice stuff with how many gives you 41 spell damage and healing as well as crit damage, 2%. You can also get the cloaks, I believe. I think there was some other stuff you can get. The tiger is quite nice because you can mix it with the one from Alterac Valley, and then you can have much more spell damage. There was one that gave you 30 spell damage, so basically you could potentially have 60 spell damage, but that's still a reach. But why not? If you can afford it, why not? But it will require a lot of PvP, which would be interesting to do. I'm willing to try and see how that goes. Hope the Honor farm won't be a long grind. Because if it's a long grind, then it's a problem. That's a good question, how long it takes to get actually exalted. I guess depends on how much time you're gonna be in, how much lasts, but I'm gonna guess maybe 10-15 days. If you're playing every day for a good amount, 5 to 10 hours maybe. Depending on how much rep you get. Also you have reputation that you gain on end that match, and reputation you gain on returning the badges, so there is those two options there still. So we'll see how things go. For me I first need to get to 49, so it will be a bit more fun. Not necessarily that I need to. All I'm doing is dotting people and making it hard for people to to get healed. To get the other stuff also is... It's good to get the stuff from Zulfarak, the one from the second boss, I believe it was. I don't know. Izvoli.
Zašto mi ne pokazuje na mapi
Šta zove?
cvijeće?
Jesi kliknuo?
Šta?
Ako imaš žetonizam, treba da klikneš. Klikči to i od lijeve strane...
Find herbs. Da.
To ti u klasi tako. Nije ovo Shadowlands. Shadowlands je drugačije, znam.
Time is money, friend. Have a good one.
Kako sam ubio sad 2 puta zared. Hteo da beži.
Šta je Alijans?
Da, ja sam 43. druid. Ja sam 5 levela više od njega, ali juče šta mi se dogodilo, kako me korps kampao je, jedan druid, drugi 53. level, jao. Sad ću jao da vidi kako je. Da zapamti ime.
Pusti čovjeka da živi.
Šta igram dok napijete server? Znam da bar na ovaj server Alijansa ne napada 1 na 1, napada samo 2 na 1 i većina. Tako da, ako te napadne neko 1 na 1, imaš sreće. I drug tako isto razmišlja kao ti, što si rekao sa Tolstoja, ga, šta ga biraš ovo ono, ali kad bi gomka iz njega kaže, a sad ću da ti jebam kevu.
Pa dobro, ja generalno ne diram ljude. Ono, ako me neko siluje, vratit ću, ali
Ali ako ga ne nađeš...
neću dirat baš low levele, ono. Tam i on može, ne može ništa. Nek živi, šta nek se pati.
Kad bi tako razmišljali, o, vidi ga, došao je lik. Došao da se tuče. Kako si dođo? Pa ti želi da se tučemo mi tu, evo sad ćemo, ajde. Izvoli. Idemo. Lik dođe na mene kad sam ja na... Movovi, fjeram ga u movove. Došao da me napadne sam sad. Ja ostavio njega, on dođe. Želi da me tuče. Načekao me na 20% HP. Bacam mu 5 koila. Nahilam se od njega. Fjer, dotove. I umri iz 2 mova. Najviše volim ljudi ovako kad se sile.
Umri jebote.
Najbolja stvar je što varovici imaju detect invisible. A imam Jadona koji mi kaže kad neko pređe u stealth u blizine.
I to postoji.
Da. Imam Jadon koji mi kaže ako ima neko u blizine. Zove se Spy. Grats on 47 level. Good job. Puno dobar Adon je zato što ne možda napraviš ono kill count. Kill count. Blacklist staviš. Ko te ubio. Kad ga vidiš, moja ti detektirate lik da te taj što te ubio i slijediš njegovi level isto tako. Kad te ubije isto...
Jesu dosadni ovi.
GZ on 47 LVL. Smiley face.
Jebote.
Šta je bio?
Ma mob me napao. Dosadan.
Kao stenac.
What the hell? It says I'm not streaming on Trovo?
Neće da me pusti. Begaj.
API has expired. Really fucking strange. Please remove the channel from your dashboard and connect it again.
Ma metti ga, nabijem.
Dobio sam instant cast. Fire Blast. Ekstra.